Alright, let's do it.
Let's do this.
I'll start us off with a little something, something. I'm gonna do a little slower than that.
Alright.
A little slower.
So count me off.
Is that okay?
Yep. And there we go, folks.
That was fun.
Yeah, a little bit of jamming.
A little bit of jamming there. We thought we're gonna talk about music.
Might as well play some.
Might as well play some music. Tony here is an established bassist.
I got some chops, sir. I got some chops.
We got to talking a good bit about the glory days of playing in bands on stages.
Happen to have a bass, happen to have a guitar.
So it was just one thing led to the other. When did you stop playing on stage?
Maybe in 24 now. Really 4 years ago. Like, I started really getting into it when I was 17, 18. Like, went for a good 3-year stretch and, like, just quit out. I just didn't have the time for it, working too much, and, that's how things go.
Yeah, I'd say I played in bands in and out since I was, like, a kid, but, like, nothing was ever serious probably till, like, really serious was, like, we had one run that was, like, really serious, and then between that around there was just, like, kind of bands that, like, we'd play for, like, a few months, and then we'd just start blizzing out. We were kids, we didn't know what we were doing, so... But I had a serious run for about, like, the same time period, about, like, 19, I'd say, for, like, 20, 21, and then it was fun. I miss it. Too bad you gotta be moving. We could just started a band.
Yeah, dude, I mean, we could probably do...
We can do wireless band stuff. Like, I can send you songs and...
Yeah, I mean, if...
You got a computer, right? Probably.
I do.
So, you can record some stuff. Do you have a bass still?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. I think it would have been really cool if I was still staying here to get some real bluesy going.
Oh, yeah, man. That's
like fun.
So, were you never in, like, a blues band?
No. I mean, I'm not a very good guitar player. What I always tell people is I play guitar. I studied the bass. So...
I just tell people I try my best at everything.
Yeah, dude, I mean, you got the chords down far and away better than I do, man. No, but I did a little bit of gigging here and there, but like when you got a voice for Kenny Wayne Shepherd and Stevie Ray Vaughan, but you don't have the guitar skills to back it up, it's kind of hard to really get
That's a shame. I think rock in general, but especially blues, like we just think of the lead guitar, but that's like That's
when you're talking about guys like Stevie Ray Vaughan
yeah.
and Kenny Wayne Shepherd, like just the virtuosity. It's kind of like Joe Satriani, like the band behind him kind of changed based on like his preferences, but like you went to go see Satriani, so like that's kind of where that like lead guitarist worship comes from, is guys like that. And I think it did a little bit of damage as far as like the general populace and like how they thought about music,
right.
But as far as what they added back into it, and like even now you got guys like Tab Benoit.
Good. Recording. Make sure it was recording.
Oh man, that would have sucked.
Oh, it's happened before.
I mean, I wouldn't mind playing again, but
right.
You got guys like Tab Benoit and Joe Bonamassa who are still like out there just really just ripping it apart, but like they're the lead guys, dude.
Right.
It's just what they do, and if you can sing those parts and really get into it, but you can't play the guitar, you can't sing those parts. You can't get out there and gig if you can't play it.
I had lead worship fever for a while, of course.
Dude, everybody does.
Playing guitar, but like I still like a lot of that. Don't get me wrong, but like I think musically, I prefer to listen to music that's balanced.
Yes.
Where you can hear everything equally, like we said, the Who and Zeppelin, like back to them. We won't talk too much about them because it took up so long on the last podcast. I can talk about them for days, but that's one of the biggest things I like about both of those bands.
Like a cohesive unit,
right?
Both of them.
And I was telling you about the Strokes. That's another thing I really love about them is it's just, and they have two guitarists, but the interesting thing about the Strokes is they don't really have a lead guitarist or rhythm guitarist. They both kind of switch out.
Like playback.
They have a guy who like mainly does solos and a guy who mainly does rhythm, but like they switch it up enough to where it's not super set and you never really know. And then they do stuff that's like in between rhythm and lead. Like it's cool. It's cool guitar work.
Or like interlace melodies and stuff like that.
Yeah, and the thing about them is the Strokes is they're like Roger Daltrey. How I said like he'd bring those melodies in, that voice to like bring everything together. Like Julian Casablancas of the Strokes, though, he does that better than anything I've ever known. Like that song I showed you earlier, where that was him with the Voids. That's his solo work, but you can hear how he just takes that melody and just intertwines
with it. Yeah.
All of it. It's sexy music.
Yeah, just like really simple rhythm, just so he can showcase what he's doing with the melody.
But that being said, I wanted to get back to lead guitarist because I obviously the guys you named.
So
are
who
awesome.
was your first?
My number one pick, just I think, and maybe even. Best guitarist of all time, and just because he is actually great with his guitar, taking those melodies.
That's a lofty accusation there.
Do what?
It's a lofty title to bestow upon someone.
Right, and it's a tough, but I actually have a guy I think lives up to the title, at least in my opinion, what I think guitar should be. Because it's not just like straight shredding, it's not just speed, it's not just even pure melody work, it's like all of it, and like, but he's so good about taking his melodies and make the music work. Though he can also be definitely a bit of a soloist, is Jeff Beck, I just think.
Yeah.
Jeff Beck has always been a big favorite of mine. And he's not the fastest. He's not the most technical, but he's just the heart. The way the guy plays the heart is just, it's unlike anything ever.
To my mind, I never really would have thought of that. I can really see where you're coming from as far as...
Have you listened to a lot of Beck?
Yeah.
Like, he's kind of not... You either know Jeff Beck or you don't. Like,
yeah, I've
like
listened to Beck, dude, but... I don't know, like, I appreciate his work a lot. I just never... I agree with you, like, 100%. Like, I mean, he's absolutely fabulous. His
album is, like, I have it on vinyl. Maybe I can find it while I say it, because I can't remember the name of it. Vinyl stack. The one with... What is it? Scatterbrain? Was it? I don't know. That was awesome, and it showed his technical side, but he has so much more than just that. What really did me was the song. It was a cover, actually. Blow by Blow. Blow by Blow. That's his. It's an incredible album, and that's kind of album. It's like the first thing that really got him. Like, yeah, Scatterbrain. Big, I think, one of his big recognitions just as a guitarist and stuff. But, because he started with Page. He started with Jimmy Page. Yeah. They were best friends, so it was natural for me to discover him. But
he's got that same kind of thing that Dylan had back in the day, where like he's still putting out stuff that's just as good today as he did right when he started. Yeah. I really see where you're coming from with that, though.
He almost played for the Stones, which would have been incredible.
Yeah,
that would have been so cool. But that didn't happen for whatever reason. That could have been, but that could have put like I don't think it would have worked, but if they got over the egos and they made it work, they could have put them on the same level as Led Zeppelin. Easily. They would have had to get a better drummer. But
dude, I think Mick would have still been talking about like pedophilia and all that stuff.
Who?
Mick Jagger.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah.
They got like when you really dig into the lyrics of some of their work, like especially the one I can't remember the name of their bassist off the top of my head, but the stuff that he wrote, like, it's really creepy if you dig into the lyrics, man.
Yeah, I haven't really dug into the Stones lyrics so much. I always liked them.
Like, they're a really good poppy band, especially like if you just kind of like bob your head and listen,
right?
But yeah,
well, shit, so that's
I'll have to dig into Beck a lot more.
Yeah, listen to Blow by Blow, man. Like that's actually a great starter right there. That's has a lot of his hits. He did a lot of Stevie Wonder covers, which were really cool. Yeah, he was he helped write Superstition, 'Cause We Ended as Lovers. It's really cool. That's a good one. It's just him playing guitar. There's no music. Some later stuff he did, he'd have singers, but for the most of his albums, it's just him playing. Yeah, dude, like the guy, like the solo guys, obviously.
Yeah, I started at the complete opposite end of like the lead guitarist fever spectrum. Angus Young from AC/DC is where I started. That's the first big one where it was just like, wow,
I like some AC/DC, man. I saw them back in 2008.
When they were doing the Black Ice tour or whatever
it was.
Like the last big one. I heard
Rock and Roll Train.
Yeah, dude, Angus's younger brother, the bassist.
I know that because they had a train on stage.
Yeah.
Their sets are crazy, dude.
Yeah, dude, they're not very metaphorical, but like, there's nothing wrong with that. But
no, it was fun. It was a great show.
I don't know if you've heard. Angus's younger brother that plays bass, Angus and him actually had to quit out of the band because Angus's younger brother actually started presenting with dementia. Like, these guys are just old.
Yeah, Angus did? Or
Angus's brother. Yeah, I mean, like, in the middle of a set, just, like, forgetting where he was and, like, what he was playing and stuff like that. And, it just shows how long these guys have been going.
Oh, yeah, man.
I mean, they started, the original singer, I can't remember his name either, but, like, they started in the 70s, man. And, like, now, that's, like, 40-some-odd years.
Oh, yeah.
They've been rocking out.
I mean, Paul McCartney's still going, man.
Yeah, but I feel like McCartney probably didn't do as many hard drugs as the guy from AC/DC.
No, probably not. But, I mean, he did some stuff.
Yeah.
he had his fun, I guarantee you.
I think hallucinogenics and, like, we all live in a yellow submarine.
I mean, you're talking, when I saw Paul McCartney, though, 3.5 hours. AC/DC was great, but it was a little under 2 hours.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, for guys that age, you're like, I understand.
Paul's
you can only
got the endurance for
Paul
it.
Just, like, I don't know what it is, man. He just like, goes. I'm not. And he was scheduled to play 2.5 hours. It was Bonnaroo. You're not really supposed to go over your scheduled.
But it's Paul
who's going to say no to Paul McCartney?
You can't.
He did 3 or 4 encores. Like, it was. Paul, stop, Paul. He can't stop. He's Paul McCartney.
You can't stop Paul McCartney.
It was incredible, though. It was truly a sight to behold. Which I'm not a huge Beatles fan because I don't like John Lennon. I'll say that. I don't like John Lennon. He's the inferior singer. He's the inferior songwriter. He's the inferior guitarist.
He's really pretentious.
Super pretentious. Paul wasn't and was the best of all those things.
Yeah, one thing I do like, Lennon's Eleanor Rigby. I love that song, dude.
I don't hate his music. It's just...
You prefer Paul's.
I prefer Paul's.
And, like, it's so much easier to listen to, and, like, it's still just as technically and musically good as John's stuff. It just comes from a much, I feel like, darker place. I feel like Paul may have seen more of that in his life and just didn't want to write about it.
Right.
I mean, they all came from, like, Hard Knocks side of Liverpool before they came over. When you got an ego on you big enough to say, like, we're just as big as Jesus.
Yeah, but John Lennon was a terrible person.
Yeah.
I mean, he beat his kid. He beat his wife's wife. He beat anyone. But, like, he was known to be just, like, really rude to people, like, all the time. And, like, a lot of people say, like, Yoko broke up the band, but it was, like, apparently
it was
like,
John's decisions.
It was just, like, John just, like, kept making crazier and crazier decisions, and, like, it just got to be unbearable. Like,
Yeah.
It's just like, no, we don't want to do that.
Yeah, dude, I feel like Ringo was just in the background, just like, yeah.
Ringo
whatever.
and George, really. They're just, well, no, Ringo's like the one who's like, yeah, and then George is just like, golly, stop. Like,
No, dude,
why?
I feel like George was like our George. You know, just like that quiet, really musical, just like, okay, I'll be in the corner making my guitar softly weep. Like,
great song.
Yeah.
Great song.
Yeah, it is.
George is underrated.
He is.
I mean, he's great. But I love Paul. Paul was incredible, too.
Yeah.
To see Paul
just
McCartney
that Rickenbacker bass, man. Oh, what I would give to have one of those things.
Oh, yeah, they're nice. They're smaller, too, you know? Like, you get the... I mean, I like the big frets, but they're not as much, but it's...
But, like, that tight... like compact package that those things present. I'd love to like get one of those old style Rickenbackers and just get up on stage and shred. Just like all black leather with one of those, just
with
like
distortion on the bass.
Yeah, just like that weird like.
I got a bass pedal over there. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, dude.
That thing's fun.
Oh,
a lot of fun.
Actually,
and guitar sounds great. I almost prefer it. It has a better like cut off. Like you know what I mean? Like it just. And my style of guitar playing, and even my style of rhythmically, like it fits really well with it.
Yeah, dude, I had a really sad moment here about, I guess 4 months ago. No, it was like 2-3 months ago. I had this really nice Boss ME50B bass pedal, and like studio quality, great work on it. Like I've been taking it to gigs, really solid setup, really agile effects, but I'm just not gigging. I'm not doing any studio work. I sold it.
Oh man, how much was it?
I think you can find them online for like $250.
Okay,
I let
mine's
it go
a little under that.
Yeah, I let it go for $200. Back when I bought it new, it was like $400 freaking dollars.
Oh wow!
But yeah, it's older tech, but
okay, yeah, mine would probably go for like $80. Yeah, mine's kind of. It's got a looper on it. That's fun,
dude. Yes,
loopers are
looping
fun.
Yourself.
Looping. The first time I ever heard looping was at Bonnaroo 2011, and I heard about 3 bands do it.
Yeah,
that was really cool. That was.
I don't know, like early thousands is when like that kind of thing really became. I don't want to say popular, but like for our generation, like our kind of music, that's when it like.
There's like a lot of people who are using it now and have used it.
Yeah,
it's really cool if it's done right. Some of it's kind of lame, but there's a band who really does it really well. Future Birds, but not Future Birds. Future Birds are great. What is it? Something. It escaped my mind. Future Birds are an Athens band. They're cool. Have you heard of them? They're like southern rock mixed with experimental kind of. They're cool.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's very Athens rock. Like I don't know if you've ever been out to Athens and listened to rock bands. Like
the sound birthplace of REM, like it's got its own thing.
And it just evolved since then, though. Like it never stopped. Like in Atlanta, and it's so close cut to the Atlanta scene.
Like that UGA aesthetic to everything out there, man. Like it lends itself. Like that music school really is underrated for like producing just some nutty people. Like they do some fantastic work out there.
Oh yeah, man. I'm trying to make a Death Fest whenever I can. Me and Samantha went last year, and I was there a few years before. I think I've been 3 times, but it's a blast. They just it's mainly Athens bands, and they have some Georgia bands and a few out of state, but it's like a big festival in Athens.
Well, I mean, it being so close to South Carolina, I'm sure there's some really cool people just across the border there too.
Yeah, and you got people who come up from Florida too, and Alabama, Tennessee, Nashville, even people.
Yeah,
well, they can get people, but they try to keep it mainly Athens bands and Georgia bands, but it's fun. I saw Reptar. You ever heard of Reptar? They're kind of like
no, but that sounds awesome,
right? Isn't that a great name for a band? They're kind of like they're pretty big. They're like kind of the next big thing coming out of Athens. They're like doing pretty well for themselves, and they're awesome. I encourage you to listen. It's poppy-ish rock, but it's very experimental and it's very like fun. I don't know, like
it's like enjoyable music.
Like what would be the best? Like I don't even know. Like it's just fun, but it's just super trippy and it's cool, and like the music, they're really good musicians. Like they know what they're doing. Like they're very tight, and it's just they know how to make a crowd go crazy.
Well, I mean, like if you're creative enough to call yourselves Reptar,
named after Reptar, because of course, like that's where they got it from, no doubt.
Yeah. Well, alrighty, folks, it's 3:30 in the morning.
It's about that time.
About that time. Blood, sweat, and tears to bring you the entertainment, the music news that you already knew, and a little bit of our own opinion on things.
Oh, yeah. That was a good one. That was fun.
Yeah.
we haven't had a music one, I think, yet. So it's about time I did one. So
yeah.
Thanks for listening, folks, and we'll be back another time. That's probably it for you, though, dude. Hey, we got you in 3 of them now, though. So it's like, bam, the Tony series.
The Tony series.
The trilogy.
Yep. I'll be back in town soon enough, man.
Soon enough. Well, maybe we bring our recording equipment to New Orleans.
Oh, special episode.
Yeah, special episode. Trip to New Orleans.
Yeah.
Maybe have some video there. That'd be cool.
That'd be awesome.
All right, folks. We will catch you next time. This has been
Broke.as.node.
Broke.as.node.